Well, how's it going? Hey, Kevin Goatee here. You know what it is? Time for a brand spanking hot episode. That's right. We're back, and one of my favorite gutters is joining us yet again. Mike Price, Mr. Simpsons himself, returns to take on, get ready, stop me if you heard this before, another film that is historically inaccurate and he just cannot stand. And that, of course, Rudy. That's right. Little Sean Astin want to tussle his hair and say, you're such a cute scamp. He doesn't buy what Rudy's putting down. Well, guess what? I had to go grab Ron Barba. You remember him from a couple episodes as well. We're going to see if everyone who loved Rudy 30 years later, talk to you in a minute. Merry Christmas, you filthy animal, and have a happy new year. Ron Barba, guest host. Ron, can you name that film?
It's one that I don't like. It's the one with the kid in it. I saw it last year for the first time. I'm like, this is what everybody loves. I hated it.
Deep Throat? No.
Pretty much, yes.
Which one? Well,
I don't remember with the kid that goes like this.
I mean, that was also
hilarious.
Is that the Nazi from Raiders of the Lost Ark? That face you're making?
Oh, now that's a good movie. Don't cross those movies.
Yeah. All right. Listen, you don't know the name of it. So, Mike Price, do you know what film that's from?
I'm guessing Ron is trying to say it's from Home Alone.
That's it. Home Alone is such a
No, you are both wrong. You are both wrong. It is Home Alone 2.
Oh, God.
And a Happy New Year. He added that part on. My daughter wanted to watch that, and God damn it, that film stinks on ice. Ugh. Kevin Goatee, Ron Barba, and my buddy Mike Price is back, everybody. Mike Price from The Simpsons, F is for Family. I'm not going to vomit out his resume, just IMDb the man. He's done a hell of a lot of funny things here. Mike is continuing down the war path of historical inaccurate films. This time he has chosen a sports film. Rudy, 1993 budget of $12 million, a box office haul, only $22.8 million. Turn that into 2023 money. $25 million budget, $48.5 million box office haul. I thought this made considerably more than what it did. IMDb boys is a scale 1 through 10 with decimal points. We're going to go to you, Mike Price. What do you think IMDb has for Rudy?
Boy. Well, it's such a beloved movie. I can't understand why, but I mean, I get it has sentimentality value. Football fans, I'm going to say it's probably in the high sevens, like 7.9.
7.9. Ron Barba, Power Lunch Extraordinary Partner. What do you have?
The IMDb rating, I have no idea. It's whatever, 5.
5. Wow. Very low and very
I don't even know what the range is. 1 out of 10.
I said 1 through 10 with decimal points. That's why.
5. It's average.
It's not. Mike Price, you were close to 7.5. 7.5.
Oh, okay.
Ron Barber, I'm going to go to you first for the critics. Rotten Tomato score 1 through 100. What do you think the critics gave Rudy?
I mean, probably out of 1 of 100, probably, I don't know, 75.
75. How about you, Mike Price? What do you have?
Yeah. Boy, I'd say maybe a little lower, like 70. 77.
Close. No cigar, just what the Mets are going to do when they try and sign Yamamoto, but the Yankees are going to sign him first. Thank you. Back to you, Mike Price. What did the audience score with Rudy?
See, I would say the audience score is probably off the charts high. Like, I'm going to say like 87%.
87. Ron Barber wearing that sweet
comics watching. If you went under, I'll go under to 80. I'll say 80.
90.
Yes. You got it. My God.
There's no accounting for taste.
Wow. On the war path already. Well, we'll find out. Quotes from this film. We only watch one team in this house. I use that quote often when people are like, oh, can we put on the blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nope, we only watch one team in this house, kids. Unless, of course, it's NFL Red Zone because I'm betting on a lot of games at once. A lot of games. Mike Price, what about you, pal? Any quotes jump out at you? Yes, sir.
Yeah, one What a spaz. That's the first thing. That's like the first word almost said in the movie. That's the first thing that came to mind. That and Rudy.
Oh. Ron Barba. What about you, buddy? Wearing that sweet ass Comics Watching Comics shirt, I might add.
I just watched it today. A quote from it.
Yeah.
There's nothing memorable that came to. The only thing memorable that came to mind was when he was reading the quote from the Gipper. It's not the movie quote.
Yep.
New Rock. At the beginning, no, we got to do this, Rock. I just want to say this to you, Rock.
All right. Well, let's do some 5 fun facts. Joe Montana famously went to Notre Dame, played his college career there in 1974 as a backup quarterback in 75. That features Rudy's single appearance on the field, but he's not a character in the film because all the players' names and characteristics are fabrications. The 3-time Super Bowl MVP also opened up about the fictional Liberty, saying, quote, Rudy worked his butt off to get where he was, but not harder than anybody else. Mm-hmm. That was met with a tidal wave of just bleh.
Well, he said some other things later that I'll bring up in my.
I know you will. I know you will. The brother of their friend from college was at a hotel when he overheard a guy telling an epic tale about achieving his dream to play for Notre Dame. The guy turned out to be Rudiger, and after listening in, the eavesdropper told him he knew the filmmakers behind Hoosiers. Naturally, Rudiger jumped at the chance to have him tell his triumphant story. Mike, how many times have you ever been sitting in the Chateau Marmont, some high swanky hotel in LA? Someone sees you walk in and starts vomiting out their life story in hopes that you'll take notice.
More times than I care to say.
That's scary.
My show. You should do a sitcom about a guy who works at a deli. Yeah.
Didn't David Letterman do that with Rupert G?
That's true. He did.
Number 3, if you're thinking in the games that Rudy looked exactly like the football you watch every Saturday and Sunday in the 90s, it's because NFL Films shot the scenes and football scenes. I thought that was fun.
That's cool.
Number 4, Fortune, the character played by Charles S. Dutton, was a composite of everyone Rudy encountered along the way who was encouraging, even though the encouragement came in the form of tough love. But this character never existed in real life. He's just a good old-fashioned Jiminy Cricket.
Was he his friend?
He's the groundskeeper. No, yeah. I mean, it was like 3 different groundskeepers or something.
Oh, okay.
He is, well, we'll get to him too.
The black guy.
Yes, that's right. Yeah,
Rock,
that's right.
Come on. You don't know. It's
Rock.
Right, and then I was saying, I was reading The Rock, and I'm like, wait, that guy had a show called The Rock.
Well, there you go. Rock Live, don't forget that. Number 5. However, in real life, the chant didn't start until after Rudy made the game-ending sack and was only in a small section of the crowd. What was the chanting?
The whole thing just falls apart.
Mike is sharp. The saws are sharpened with Mike. Up, right on over to Ask a Gutter. We're going to go kick it off with So Wizard Podcast. How much of a giant meltdown would Patrick Mahomes have if he was the quarterback of this game and Rudy is clearly offsides making his big tackle?
He would have quite the meltdown. Rudy would need Jake from State Farm to help him put himself back together again after that.
Can someone do in a Chicago accent like a good neighbor? State Farm is there. All right. Next. At Nemirovsky, it's no coincidence that Notre Dame hasn't won a championship since this egregious, lie-filled piece of shit came out. The only thing keeping their overhyped and under-delivering shithole relevant. What has been more overblown by the media in the last 30-ish years, the movie or Notre Dame football?
That's a good question. I'd say the movie.
Okay.
I mean, Lou Holtz was awesome, and was it Rocket Ishmael? But
yeah,
so what?
Yeah, that's the last.
There's
1988. Tony Rice, kids.
There's a billion better teams than freaking Notre Dame.
Well,
so
not in the 60s and 70s.
Oh, is that right?
No, they were it.
I didn't know
earlier than that.
They were a pretty big deal back then. Yeah.
Can't wait to see Mike Price destroy this film like an SE team playing Notre Dame in a playoff game. Got a lot of bias here. All right. Not a lot of Domer fans out here. At Taco Shirt Krillin, I know nothing about this movie at all. So what's your favorite color?
Mets blue.
I knew it. I knew you were going to say it. Of course, at Lord Snurts has his predictions. I will not read them to not influence my fellow panelists and co-host. His question, would Frank Murphy give a shit if Kevin or Bill played 30 seconds of college hockey? Would he show up to the game with tears in his eyes like Rudy's dad?
I think he'd show up to the game, but then be pissed off that he had to wait all game for 30 seconds of his lousy, stupid disappointment of a kid getting in there.
Embarrassment.
I mean, it's still important. Look at you. Wow, you guys are savage.
I said I would have been embarrassed if that's what I'm like. I'm not going in. No. Don't put me in. It's so obvious you're pandering. No, I'm not doing this. It was an embarrassment, really, in the end. It's really sad.
Ron, that's why I don't have kids.
I don't know exactly how the show goes, but I was in the middle. I was rooting for him. I was
all right.
Really
okay, save it. God damn it.
Sorry, I didn't know when you started in. I mean,
I clue Mike in. You've been on the show.
Yeah. Normally you guys talking. I know. I'm sorry.
At Joe Loves Cam, if Jon Favreau hadn't met Vince Vaughn while filming Rudy, what up-and-coming actor could have played Trent in Swingers?
Ooh. Wow, that's a good question. I think who else was coming out around then? Jay Moore.
Can you imagine him having a receding hairline? Buddy, you're so even, your money is don't even know it. That's a Jay Moore with Phil Hellmuth in there, Ron Barba.
Buddy, you have no concept.
Joe Doherty also says, sorry, I can't add a Rudy specific question because I hate the movie so much. I'm shocked. I really would have thought that there would have been a bigger outrage, except for Richie Gavagnan, Ron, on Facebook said, I don't know Mike and I hate him already. That's the only person who showed any kind of vocalization for Rudy. I really thought there'd be a big outcry. So, hey, remember everybody, no one listens to the end of podcasts. Let's talk now what you're up to. Mike Price, The Simpsons in season 40?
30. We are 30, season 35.
5. God, I jumped
is on TV right now, and we are writing season 36 as I speak.
Wow,
yes,
he's out. Anything else in the hopper you want to talk about?
No, that's about it. But very exciting and very happy with how we're doing, and got some great shows coming up this year.
Excellent. I love you being so coy. Ron Barba. That watching comics show on Amazon Prime. Boy, wasn't that a real hootenanny that yours truly had on for 8 seasons on Amazon Prime? Boy, those are the
on one of the episodes. It was fantastic.
Thank you. What are you up to, pal? I know you got some.
I've got 2 movies on Amazon. One is called Bobby Mortal. The other one's called God's Will. You go to Amazon, you got to pay less than I had to pay for the friggin' Rudy movie. And he's better than that movie. But yes, I have those 2 on, and I'm going to be shooting a pilot for a movie that I wrote called I Killed Last Night, about a serial killing comedian killing all the comedians.
Pardon me, but if you shoot a pilot, don't they lock you up and throw away the key? Hey-o.
Where do you have a rim shot for the show?
That's a direct Caddyshack ripoff. Pardon me, sir, but if they shoot the gopher, if they throw away the key, gophers, you idiot. Gophers. All right. You can check out GuttingTheSacredCow@gmail.com if you want to advertise with us. That'd be great if you did. And say hi there as well. We love that. When you also leave us those 5-star ratings, 2 or 3 sentence reviews. Lastly, thank all of you. Thank you all for giving us an hour and change of your time every week. I truly enjoy doing this. That's why we've done over 200 episodes. And this is the best movie review, movie debate podcast out there for many reasons. And again, thank you so much for being a part of it. Ron Barba, let's get Mike Price doing when he's just champing. That's right, champing at the bit, not chomping. All right? Know your origins. Champing at the bit to do what he's come to do. And that, of course, is Gut the Sacred Cow.
Well, where do I begin? Like you said earlier, Kevin, I'm on a bent on this show, except for the one I just did before this. which was the Dead Poets Society. But although
Oh,
movies that pretend to be based on a true story or partially based on a true story, but are completely and utterly full of shit. So in the previous incarnations of the show, I tackled the Academy Award winning Argo, terrible, and also the similarly revered and whatever controversial Oliver Stone JFK. This movie, while not as egregious as JFK in that it purports to solve one of the great murder mysteries of all time, is almost right up there, I would say, because it's so full of shit. This movie is so full of shit. If a glance at Wikipedia, all right, granted, when this movie came out 30 years ago, there was no Wikipedia, so it was not easy to sort of fact check what really happened. But a glance at Wikipedia shows that almost the only thing that happened in this movie that happened in real life basically was there was a guy named Daniel Rudiger that they all called Rudy. And the weird thing is that even his father calls him Rudy, even though his name is Rudiger. So I don't know, like if he was called Rudy in his own family. Like,
is this like Daryl and the Bob Newhart show?
I know, that would be like if my dad called me Pricey, whatever. His name was Price. Like, it's so bizarre. Anyway, and that he grew up loving Notre Dame football, which I get. My dad loved Notre Dame football. I was from an Irish Catholic family, so it's very true. The one thing they say in the movie is that to the Irish Catholics, especially even like blue collar Irish Catholics, like Notre Dame is this kind of thing. Like my dad grew up in New Jersey. We went to a game at Notre Dame like 27 years ago. His first time ever there. But he grew up like just loving Notre Dame. I watched Notre Dame football. He loved Eric Parsegian. But so that's true. But the one thing that isn't even true is that Rudy is not Irish. And Ned Beatty playing his father has this big thing about, us Irishmen back in the old country, we were looked down upon, blah, blah, blah. He's German. He is German. He's not Irish. So that's right from the beginning. It's full of shit, right? So then he's like, then Sean Astin, very nice guy, very appealing guy. He looks like he almost, and I read someone saying this in one of the reviews I read, he looks like he has a mental defect because he loves Notre Dame so much. It's like a little bit like Ralph Wiggum on The Simpsons. Like, I love Notre Dame. I want to be a Notre Dame player. And it's like, yeah, what else is in your character? Like, his character is just that he loves Notre Dame. And right behind you, Kevin, is that picture of him in that jacket, that he literally wears that jacket throughout the entire film. Like, I don't know if he owns a shirt. Like, all he does is he wears that Irish jacket that his friend got him. Anyway,
he's like a 4-year-old who gets a pair of dinosaur pajamas and doesn't take them off until the following February.
Exactly. But he's like this 4-year-old wearing footy pajamas at the age of 26. So he's dying to go to Notre Dame. He's dying to play football, even though he's a little guy. Anyway, the stuff that is true is that he did eventually go to like junior college nearby, and he transferred into Notre Dame. He did get to be a walk-on. He was on the practice team, blah, 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 and whatever. He liked to play tackle, whatever. He's dying to get on the field. The crux of the movie, the end of the movie that everyone remembers, none of it happened the way it happens in the movie. Like in the movie, all the guys say, "Hey, coach." First of all, the coach is played by Dan Devine, the coach Dan Devine, who replaced Eric Parsegian. He's portrayed as like a total asshole who like hates Rudy, and the other guys go, "Hey, coach, you should let Rudy suit up for the last game." Impossible, ridiculous. I'll never do that. No way. In reality, it was his idea.
Yeah.
It was his idea. He said, "Rudy, you should play." So, and I think they said that he said, like, it'll make a better movie if I'm not in favor of it. They went really running with it and turned Dan Devine to like the ultimate, like, what mustache twirling football coach villain. So then he's
gonna tie Rudy up the train tracks at the end.
Yeah, pretty much. "Rudy, you might as well just be dead, whatever." But he was his idea. And then they all did this thing where they all like put their shirts on the coach's desk. If Rudy can't play, then I'm not playing. None of that happened. None of it happened. Then Rudy's there suited up. His parents are there. Okay, great. This whole thing, he did make a tackle And right, and this, like you're saying earlier, Kevin, like this whole chant of Rudy, 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 Rudy. It didn't happen that way. It didn't nobody forced Dan Devine to put him in. He put him in. He made the tackle. Great. They said that Joe Montana in this interview that he gave about 10 or 12 years ago basically said that a couple of guys did carry him off, right? But he goes, they were the biggest pranksters on the team. Like it was all done as like a big joke. Like, let's carry Rudy off the field. The little shitbird. He finally got in. Ha ha ha. I'm Joe Montana. I'm going to go to the NFL, but this little dork, let's act like he was a big deal. That's what really happened. So it's all false. It's all fake. This guy, Rudy, I mean, God bless him. He turned it into an entire life. He turned that thing into a whole life where now he goes around. He has like his motivational seminars. He wrote books about it. He got this movie made. God bless him. I mean, he certainly has a lot of drive and a lot of passion to promote himself, which is what he did. But I would say this too, that if you think about it, like when you want, well, you want to see the movie, right? When you see the movie, you didn't go to the movie saying like, oh, gee, I hope this guy gets in at the end. Like, he's going to get in at the end. So the whole 2-hour movie is just, it's a foregone conclusion he's going to get in. So there's no suspense. He's going to get in there. Otherwise, there wouldn't be a movie. So it's like, it's just, how does he get in there? He comes off to me as such like a child. And like, it's so crazy that he's such a child, and it's like, why do they all get behind him? I guess he's a nice guy, but that's fine. But like, I don't know. None of it adds up to me. And then on top of it all, his father is played by Ned Beatty, one of the great actors of all time.
Yes, Network.
He's so good. Network, Deliverance.
Yeah.
I'd say that Ned Beatty got a worse deal in this movie than
his character in Deliverance.
Yes, he got a worse deal here because at least in Deliverance he was playing like a real person. This guy is like,
sell out.
Oh, come on. We only watch Notre Dame football in this house. I love Notre Dame so much. Dad, I want to go to Notre Dame. No son of mine's going to go to Notre Dame. Whatever. He's such. And the idea is like he's from Joliet, Illinois, which is like, I don't know, like an hour and a half away from South Bend, Indiana. It's not that far away, right? So, but they act like when Rudy goes away, like he never talks, he never calls his father, like he shows up at Christmas time. Hey, what you been up to, son? Whatever. I'm playing football for Notre Dame now, Dad. No, you're not. Whatever. It's so crazy. It's so terrible. It's so bad. And he has his one brother is a real dick to him, is a terrible guy. And then Vince Vaughn, who's a great actor, a really interesting guy. That's his movie debut. I may have missed part of it because I was starting to fall asleep a little bit. But Vince Vaughn goes from the guy who hates him, who like says, "Hey, fuck you, Rudy, get to blah, blah, blah." Like 2 minutes later, he's like, "Coach, we got to get Rudy in the game." Like I don't know. I missed the scene where suddenly Vince Vaughn became a good guy. I don't know what happened. Maybe that scene didn't make it it got edited out or something. And Favreau, he's fine too, but it's like it's all crazy in this girl and then part of the deal is that Rudy is going to help Jon Favreau get dates. So he's like hitting up all these women on behalf of Jon Favreau. It's so creepy. Like if I saw the real Rudy, if I saw a guy acting like that, I would literally like steer clear of this guy and like call like the college, psychiatric center or something. This guy needs help. And the last thing I'll say is that it purports to be inspirational, sure, which it is, but it worked out for him. And I would be the last person to say like you shouldn't have dreams. But like I wonder how many people are out there who watch that movie and go like, yeah, I'm going to do it, and like it didn't work out for them, and they're probably like their lives were ruined because they didn't get to be Rudy, So I don't know. It's just it's completely false. It's completely fake. This whole thing about this cult of Notre Dame. I mean, I remember my dad. I remember calling my dad on New Year's Eve of one year in the 70s when Notre Dame played in the Cotton Bowl, and I think I remember calling the New Year's Eve party and get my dad on the phone. Put Bill Price on the phone. Yeah. Dad, they won. Notre Dame won. So I was really into them as much as he was. But it's all so insane that they're all just like this giant. It's like a cult movie. It literally is like a cult movie, and it's so strange. And they make some reference to it that it's expensive to go to Notre Dame, and not everybody go there. but it's like it literally is like you could make this about like Scientology, or you can make this about
Right.
cult. It's like I'm gonna be an A-level Scientologist. Whatever. Yeah, Rudy, get in there, and he gets to hang out with Tom Cruise for 1 minute or something.
Yeah.
But like it's
They
so
make you
weird.
they make you like a Thetan 4 if you climb to the top of Touchdown Jesus. That's what the knighting ceremony is.
Exactly. Like you really have, in order for the movie to work, you have to buy in that playing one single down at the end of something, means anything. And I'll say this has been a bugaboo of mine for a long time, ever since I saw this movie all those years ago. And I sent you a clip of this earlier today, Kevin. But on The Simpsons, we did an episode that I wrote about 12 years ago, where it was an episode where the plot mechanics involved that, like, Mr. Burns replaced all the employees except Homer at the nuclear power plant with robots. And so Homer was playing baseball with these robots, and Bart and Milhouse walked up, and Milhouse said, "Can I play too?" And the robot scanned his body and said, like, "He is inferior. You are not allowed to play." Yep. And Milhouse said, "But I have a lot of heart and drive, just like Rudy." And the robot said, "Rudy was only used to play one play in a meaningless game. We will inform you when this game becomes meaningless." Which is like, that's exactly what it is. Like, I don't know. I mean, how many guys turned out to be Rudy and just maybe didn't make it?
I got an answer. I have an answer for you, Mike. Ready? Since you're a baseball nerd too. Yeah. He's Eddie Goodell from the St. Paul Saints.
Right, Eddie Goodell. He did go down. Eddie Goodell did go down in history. Yep. So
what did Eddie Goodell?
He was a
short man.
Yeah, he was a little fella who the owner was it Bill Veeck, right? Am I right? Yeah.
Yes, Bill Veeck. Yeah.
Bill Veeck. I always do that. Bill Veeck. And I watched that thing on Netflix too a few months ago. Bill Veeck is the owner of the St. Paul Saints. He was known for a bunch of like grandstanding events just to drum up attendance. And he told this little guy, like, go in there, and if you swing the bat, you're fired, or something like, or maybe like, I'll kill you, because he was so short that he was going to get a walk no matter what. So he said, don't swing the bat at all, or I'll kill you, or something, whatever it was. And so of course he walked.
He made a single appearance, and like befitting of a different time, like his number was like 1/2 or something.
Yeah.
His uniform number was 1/2. Yep. And he stood there. He was like 2 feet tall or whatever. And he had no strike zone. So we worked out a walk. And then after that, they banned him. Or did they just ban that particular guy, or said, like, you have to have a certain height?
I have no idea. I know the reboot version was done with Ray Ordonez. More baseball nerd talk.
Yeah. So anyway, Mike, that's my take. That's my take. It's sappy. It's not real. None of it really happened, and so it gives a lot of people false hope. And that being said, it's really well made. It's well acted. Sean Astin gives it an excellent performance as this clearly mind damaged Ralph Wiggum type guy. And it's really well made and real shot. And even as you're watching it, like you were saying, Ron, like you kind of want to root for him, but then if you think about it for like 1 second, it just all falls apart.
That was my issue. Is same thing. Like,
wait, Ron, hold on 1 second.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. Mike, give your score 1 to 10.
Oh, 5.5.
Wow, okay. Not as hated as I thought it was going to be coming from you. All right, 5.5. Ron Barber, let's hear your take, kind sir.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is I totally agree with pretty much everything Mike said, especially the part about the danger in dreams. Because being an actor myself and working as hard as I have and not having made it at all. I mean, and I'm not trying to, I got on that movie. I did it. No, that's not. It's about making it. And making it in that game is playing in the big game and actually, contributing in the key moment and doing that throughout. This guy, he's the antithesis of anything. Something that's working. There's a reason why it works. This guy's not the reason why this thing works. He was like an offshoot that actually got in the way of this thing that was moving forward. And you see that in society too. It's called affirmative action. It's called people that shouldn't be there because their talent isn't to what everyone else's talent is, but they're there because they're getting like a gift, and that's making the whole come down. So that's a bigger
Ron. It's like he walked on as a wide receiver 1, like he was on the goddamn practice squad.
Right.
Who got beaten up every day.
Well, and that was good. They said that was the one thing they kept mentioning. That was like, hey, listen, we're the guys. It doesn't matter if we get hurt. Right. And I get that. But still, even to make a movie about a guy that goes in there, he reminds me of these videos you see on TikTok where they let the retarded kid play in the last. They give him the ball and they all usher him down the field. And did you ever see the one where he gets someone hit him? Did you ever see the one where they actually?
No.
There's one where some guy actually tackled him. And I was like, "There's reality right there."
Oh,
like,
wait! That is with Mark Sanchez doing the butt fumble. I saw that.
But all right, so that but the beginning part, like it's more like a Hallmark movie. Right. It's like real sappy. Everything is way too staged. The dialogue is way too staged, and all of a sudden he talks, and all of a sudden it doesn't flow. But it gets the story. It moves it along. I get it, which is fine. It's got this incessant violin music that is just sappy. That I actually recorded it.
You didn't like the Jerry Goldsmith score is one of the most touted things about this.
Too much.
Yeah.
It's like coming up. This is when he finally gets the letter halfway through that he got in. It's a fucking break.
All right.
Way too much of that. Chasing a stupid dream causes you and everyone around you heartache. So everybody's hating on, first off, that's the other thing. It's like when someone wants to do something and believes in it, it's a beautiful thing. I do think it's beautiful. Like you said, chasing your dreams. But these people are just awful. Like, you suck. You're stupid. And it's just like, what? Who his family? Like, are they really that nasty? Like, they're nasty people. And even the girl was like really bad. And she's like, sorry. He does something where he's drunk and he tells her that he's not part of the school. And then she's like, oh, you're not in the school. You can't be in the boosters. And then he's kicked out of whatever he was doing there. And then he sees her later and he's like, hi, nice to her. I'm like, I would be like, cunt. Like, because she cut him off, right? Because she cut him out of the thing. Instead, he's like, hi. Yeah. There's so many inconsistencies.
She banned him from interning painting helmets. What a real bitch.
What a bitch. And then the blonde who set up the other guy, set up Favreau with a 3. Remember, she's like, hey, here's my friend. And then the friend ends up with Favreau. She ends up like Rudy. She's like, who's going to believe that happened? Oh, they were both kind of ugly people. They were both 3s. But anyway, and she's like an 8.
She looks like Fawn Leibowitz's roommate in Animal House.
They glaze over that like it's an okay thing, like it's funny. Isn't it funny what bitches women are? Isn't it hilarious? Anyway,
I do laugh when that one and you are so cute. Here's my friend. You're like, Everyone has the same reaction, like when they saw Kent Dorfman's picture on the slideshow in Animal House where they throwing beers. And they start throwing beer to the screen.
Yeah.
And also, his dreams are crystallized when he loses his friend in the factory. So it's like, chase your dreams. You never know when you get blown up in a factory fire. It's like that's the one time if you're going to do it. It's that your best friend that was encouraging you dies right there. All right, then you got a mission. But everybody else, no. You have no chance. And like you said, I didn't even know he had a future like that. So in life, it's awesome to have great effort, but there has to be a touch of reality, I believe.
Yeah.
In pursuing something that will work. Although this guy's like, who knows? He made a movie at it, so maybe it did work. Maybe I should take a lesson from him.
Yeah, Ron, stop trying to act in your 50s. You're pathetic.
That's what it is. I mean, that's what I started feeling. I started feeling like, oh God, this guy. I made all the mistakes this guy made. And
I'm teasing.
What's it? No,
I'm teasing you.
No, but I'm not. It's a truth. It's a reality. It's like, holy shit. Like, yeah, this was stupid. If you don't hit it on your dreams, you end up,
Here I am on a podcast trying to pitch a movie game show.
I will say too, Ron just mentioned the dad and the mill and all that stuff. Like, they're all treat him like shit. They treat him like absolute dog shit, right? And then he goes, Dad, I got into Notre Dame. Suddenly the dad is happy with him now.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, my son's going to Notre Dame. Like, he didn't love him until then. He treated him like absolute shit. It reminds me a little bit of like if we ever do Gutting the Sacred Cow of TV shows, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer.
Herbie the Elf.
Reindeer is absolutely treated like an absolute pile of shit by everybody until he's useful, until he has a red nose that can help Santa Claus. Then Santa Claus is out there. Hey, you're great. I love you all along. Like, the father should love him anyway.
There you go. And
that's I'll play devil's advocate. That's that small town. Like, you'll never be anybody. This whole town's full of a bunch of nobodies. You live and you die in this town, and that's it. You work at the mill. You do this for 50 years, and you get a cheap gold watch, and that's it. Like, that's of course. Yeah. And if you try and be better than us, well, the hell with you. Like that. I understand that was the path they're trying to set as a kind of like a antithesis of a character. Like, they have to have some kind of opposition. They can't make it a fluff piece from here to beginning to end.
Right.
So I get that, but it was a little over the top of the dad.
The opposition is fine, but you don't pay it off by being nice to those assholes.
No.
Now you've ruined it because you're saying, oh, it's okay that you were an asshole to me and destroyed my dreams. I was like, fuck you. I did make it. They didn't do that. If they did that angle, all right. If all of you, I did make it. That would have been all right, cool, good on you. But not, that
would have been the great ending would have been Rudy being carried off on their shoulders while he's giving everybody the finger.
Yes, there it is, Mike. That's it. 100 right there. That would have been a great ending. And plus, again, I'm not gonna. I have 10 more things. Vince Vaughn stole my role. That was Swingers. That was me. But way back when, that's what I used to be known as the ugly Vince Vaughn when they bring me up on stage. And the ugly Vince Vaughn, Ron Barber. But no, there's a million things. But the main thing was that I already kind of knew what the film was about. And I just watched it today. And in the middle, I'm like, you know what? This is likable. This is one of these bad movies that you don't care because you just like, I just like it. And at the end, everything what Mike said about the ending, it was like, what a deflation of the ending there. Because I wanted to be like, yeah, he did it. I'm like, oh, he did it that way? Oh, that's so sad. Yeah. Pathetic.
Yeah.
Ron, give me a 1 to 10.
Definitely not recommended. And I'll say it's a 5, 4, 5.
Give me a number. Which one? 4 or 5? Or 4?
I don't know, 5.
5 it is. These notes brought to you by GuttingTheSacredCow.com, where you get some sweet ass merch, a hat, mug, a bag, condom dispenser, comics, watching comics. Oh, let's see. What a run. What a run. Gutting the Sacred Cow on all social platforms. Of course, find us on YouTube. It doesn't hurt just to click like, even though you heard this or seen this clip. Listen, it helps with the algorithm. All right. They're trying to make a few shekels here. Notes. This is the first time, fellas, and probably the last time that I watched a film for this podcast on VHS. I own this film on VHS. Whoa. Yes, I have a DVD VHS player I still use once in a moon. And, well, here we go. Why is Rudy the only one wearing a helmet playing backyard football?
That's how serious he is.
Was his classroom on wheels? Is that what happened with him? Sean asked, not looking a day under 28 years old as a high school senior. Did you also notice that? My God. Is this the Breakfast Club Part 2? He could have played the role of Bender, no problem. None of those high school seniors were able to knock the coach on his ass to get their last shot in. What a bunch of pussies this team is. I mean, what were they, 0-15? Can't knock the coach over in the last shot? Silly. 2 things about the high school priest who told Rudy he can't get to college. Number 1, you don't need good grades to get into Joliet Community College. You don't even need half a brain. Just ask the writers on Fox's Corpopolis. Right, Mike Price? Nothing like a little in-network rivalry, right? And second of all, without that built-up tension, I was waiting for that priest to grab Rudy and kiss him firmly on his luscious lips. The saying in Caddyshack, Ron Barber, the world needs ditch diggers too, can also be applied to working in a steel mill. Good work for all those people who do it. I just think it's a life with no variety or excitement for me. As we talked about before, the born in this town, live in this town, die in this town mentality is something, well, I just don't understand. All right, let me get this straight, boys. His friend gets blown off a balcony, does a 1.5 somersault off the railing, and obviously does not stick the landing. This is the catalyst for Rudy to go and play football. Oh, by the way, Lily Taylor, I'm sorry. I don't care that we went house hunting together anymore. My buddy dying is a sign from above that this is dead-end job and marrying you is not in my cards.
That I loved. That part I loved. He's trying to pull, like women do. They pull you away from your dreams so they can follow their dreams.
She was sweet. She was not manipulative.
And you breaking your back for them. Sorry, keep going.
And then she's like, I'm going to leave you for your brother now.
I'll get to that in a second.
That was great. That was great. I love that part. Drama.
I'm shocked you didn't get to that one, Mike, but I'll gladly pick up the loose ball. Rudy showing up at 5 a.m. or whatever to the Notre Dame campus thinking he'll march right in and talk to someone in admissions. Hey, why not go up to the security guard and say, since I'm here now, I'll just take your car, your house, and your wife while I'm at it.
Yeah.
Holy shit. The main priest is the bartender / lodge owner in The Great Outdoors, the timeless classic with Dan Aykroyd and John Candy.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't know that.
You ever saw The Great Outdoors? It's
anything John Candy.
Listen, it's not good, but it's just 80s cheese and I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I obviously, guys, I got it wrong when I went to college. I graduated in 4 years, a degree in film and TV. I should have went to a local county college in the Boston area, made good enough grades, worn my finest of tracksuits, and then marched into the, I don't own a tracksuit. That's a joke. I'm not Italian or Irish. And then marched into the admissions office and said, I'm here. Let's learn. Just like Rudy did. Is that how it works? Is show up after going to county college? Jon Favreau looking like he ate every single Iron Man suit from every single Marvel movie. I guess Ozempic wasn't out then for Jon Favreau back in 93. All right. Hey, where is Rudy sleeping until the groundskeeper lets him crash in the lounge? I'm looking for a room. He's not the guy to go to bars and pick up chicks and just one night stand them and crash at their place. I'm pretty sure about that. But you're just like, what is he sleeping? What, benches, whatever? I need to know these things. Rudy is the annoying asshole at a bar who keeps spouting off sports statistics until someone engages him in conversation. Not me, pal. Not me. When Rudy said Mary, Mary at the bar, I reflexively finished the Andrew Dice Clay nursery rhyme.
Me too.
See? I know I wasn't the only one. And then my wife came in the room and gave me a curious look, and then I punctuated with the, oh! Makes perfect sense you don't see any black people at that Irish bar when you see him playing that horse shit fiddle music. I'd stay far away too. Ugh, awful music. I'm pretty sure if a psychologist saw Rudy running around yelling out coaches' speeches in a nearly empty locker room or running patterns around a bunch of groundskeepers, he'd be immediately diagnosed with autism. What? Why was it a big reveal that Lily Taylor left him and then started dating Rudy's brother? Dude flat out left her for a semester, and we're supposed to feel bad for him. Then he gets all pouty pants and fucking leaves Christmas. Listen, he didn't go off to war, and she cheated on him by banging a door-to-door salesman, folks. He's not a hero. Charles S. Dutton is great in this role. I love him reminding Rudy consistently that, hey, you're not a failure. You're going to get out of here with a degree. Just because you're not playing or getting in the Heisman doesn't mean you stink in life. All right, let me also get this straight, fellas. Rudy does 2 Oklahoma drills. So that's, fellas, where you guys square off 1-on-1. One guy runs the other one, and if he gets past the other guy, he wins. And if the other guy takes him down before he gets to the line, he loses. He gets run over in the first Oklahoma drill, and then he stops the second guy in the second drill, and then that's enough to make the practice squad at Notre Dame, huh? Okay, low bar. 54 minutes in, we finally get our first black guy in a movie that deals with football players. Let's just pause and think about that for a second. I had to Google this, but it said, well, Notre Dame, I don't know, how forgiving are they? Their first black player, 1953. So it's not like we were dealing with the 60s and 70s Celtics here, folks. There was integration. Maybe this was too subtle for you guys to pick up on what I think Rudy's brother, Frank, he's a real bag of queeves. Am I right? Holy Christ, it's Harris from Major League as Coach Divine. He should have handed Rudy an empty highball and said, yo, bartender, Joe Boone needs a refill.
I love that actor. Chelsea
Who doesn't?
Ross. He's great. Yeah.
I Googled to see how this was possible because I was all set to blow this apart, but okay, Google proved me right. Players did have their names on the back of jerseys in college until the Notre Dame. Lou Holtz outlawed that in the 80s because he wanted to, no names, it's one team. But how is it you see when they're handing their jerseys in, some with names, some with just numbers?
Oh.
Zero consistency. Again, as a sports guy, some of these sports films are like, When Rudy sacks the quarterback, I pause and go, that is the laziest chip block by a running back I have ever seen. He just pulled the Lamar Luttrell blocking technique. I guarantee the Penn State coach would have benched his ass for such a half-assed attempt.
You mean in the game? Was it in the game?
It was when Rudy made that sack.
That was the last play of the
At
game.
the end, he was unmolested both times. He was unmolested on the way down the field on the kickoff, and then to get to the guy.
I can buy the kickoff. I can buy the kickoff. I can't buy the running back going as he tries to block him on a pass play.
That's the end of a whole other movie about that guy on the other team who got to play in one play and fucked up.
That's like Jean-Claude Van Damme in the film Double Impact, where they were separated at birth, the twins.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Vince Vaughn to yell, Rudy, after the sack, you're so money, you don't even know it. Too easy. Rudy's brother looks like Tobey Maguire without any lips.
Yes.
Something wasn't right with that fella. He looked like a puppet. Everyone, including me, loved this film when it came out. I liked it. It was enjoyable. It was a feel-good film. The football scenes are pretty good. But this is nowhere and should be in no one's top 10 sports films. I was Major League, better. Rocky 1, 2, 3, better. Bad News Bears, better. Any Given Sunday, better. Field of Dreams, better. The Rookie, better. Little Big League, better. Hell, I even prefer Draft Day with Kevin Costner, which has the biggest smorgasbord of that doesn't happen in the last 5 minutes of the story. But there is such an inordinate amount of holy shit, that's nonsense. I declare shenanigans with all the falsities here. And I don't have this super sentimental attachment nostalgia with Rudy as some people do. People look, you ready for my line? It's fine. It's fine. Nice story. Sean Astin is good. I will never watch this again. 5.5 out of 10.
Nice.
I think we're
right. Yeah.
I think we're all simpatico. Now let's go to the Lord Snurts predictions. I have you, Mike Price. Actually, he has you at a 3, me at a 4, and Ron at a 5. And he says, I have
right.
Yep. I have a feeling, folks, this will be meh to fuck this shit. I'll be shocked if anyone scores above a 6 with this. Yeah, it's just didn't. People are going to get pissy, though, when they hear this. But too bad, guys. Stop letting nostalgia guide you by life. Critics, 5-star reviews. Watching a film like Rudy reminds us that sometimes the power of belief, or as Ted Lasso puts it, to believe and believe, is magic enough to set aside cynicism long enough to remind ourselves that dreams that uplift are laudable and should be supported. Unless, of course, you're quarterback for the New York Jets. Then cut that shit out.
Let's end the season.
The film is so effective because Rudy is never seen as mock heroic, and he's never lifted toward unrealistic achievement. He simply does the very best he can. That's true. It's not like he went and he caught an 85-yard Hail Mary to win the game like a lot of sports films do. You talk about syrupy. You want a film like this? Absolutely cannot stand. Remember the Titans. You talk about syrup bullshit. Ugh, no thanks. The little girl, you need to run the counterplay more, Daddy. Shut up. Rudy is one of those beating the odds tales that no one does better than Hollywood. A film that hits all the right emotional buttons. It's an intelligent, sentimental drama that lifts an audience to its feet, cheering. No
way.
I put that in the same category as people when they say, I literally fell out of my seat in the theater laughing. No, that also did not happen. No. Peeing your pants a little bit, I'll let that slide. But crying until your eyes tear up, sure. Been there, done that. But no, that no one's cheering. Perhaps the greatest sports movie in film history. No, it's not. No,
wow.
It's not.
No one said that.
Critics 1-star reviews. A likable, if rather bland, underdog tale with director David Anspaugh and screenwriter Angelo Pizzo, who both scored with 1986's Meteor Hoosiers. I find Hoosiers overrated. I'm sure people are going to want to stream
Hoosiers is great. No, Hoosiers.
Yeah,
I haven't seen it since I saw it the very first time, but I remember liking it a lot.
Yeah. Hackman's great, but I thought the rest of the film is all right. Dutifully checking off the boxes inherent in such Americana fare. Okay, we're getting blowhardy now. Dive in. So sentimental, it moves you to laughter rather than tears.
Yep.
Oh, that, yeah.
Yeah. A tedious and simplistic celebration of the virtues of determination, Rudy is a film that prostrates itself before the carefully cultivated and shrewdly marketing myths surrounding Notre Dame football. Yet again, someone else who sneers and turns their nose up at you in Barnes & Noble when you ask to see where the fiction section is. I don't like that person. This one, I laughed my ass off. Ready? This film is so uplifting, I felt like calling up Lou Holtz for brunch. Amazon, that's good. Amazon 5-star reviews. My wife cries every time we watch this movie. Why? Did she put money on Penn State that day? Hey-o. My favorite line, Rudy was offsides. It was. Just like Kadarius Toney yesterday in the Chiefs game. This is probably my favorite, all-time favorite Amazon 5-star reviews I just read. All right, next one. Great movie. It was heartfelt, inspiring, motivating, touching, and just an overall great film. Love the cast and storyline. I definitely recommend this one. Follow your dreams with humbleness, heart, and passion, regardless of any obstacles you face along the journey. Heart emoji. Except you, Zach Wilson. Cut that shit out and get your resume ready to run a country club restaurant. That's my advice. Don't miss out or you'll be sorry. Rudy is played by Sean Astin, an aspiring young actor. Christ on a cross. He made Goonies 8 years before this. He had Toy Soldiers out a couple years before that, like Father Like Son, Encino Man. By this rationale, are they going to call Ron Barba a young upstart actor after the libraries of gay porn he's made? Are they?
I wish someone would Rudy me in Hollywood. He's done this for 20 years. Put him in the movie. He's done this for 20 years. Ronnie. I want the fucking Hollywood BL. Put him in.
You know, you'll be like Pee Wee Herman. You'll get a walk-on in Pee Wee's Big Adventure, like, paging Mr. Herman. You have a call at the front desk.
I won't go on, too. Unlike Rudy, I won't go on set if that's how it ever happens for me.
Wait till God's Will Part 2, then you'll have no choice. Amazon 1-star reviews. Insert from some filthy language and take the Lord's name in vain several times for no reason whatsoever. Okay, so the writer, director, whoever, proves he's in control of, in quotes, of what goes on in the movie, and his so-called creative rights, in quotes, are intact. Good for him. At the same time, he proves himself to have no conscience toward God, nor any regard for those who do. I know this is a good movie. It's a shame someone felt the need to pepper it with obscenities and blasphemies, rendering it entirely inappropriate for families. Sad and disappointing. Signed, Flavor Flav. I'm shocked. How is it? This is PG. How is it that, man, these Bible thumpers are the worst. Had to turn it off. Sorry, say that wrong. Go ahead. Sorry, I don't want to cut you off.
I just don't even remember any profanity.
I don't remember it being that bad.
We're all, well, I know.
They're really listening in.
They hear one word and it's like they're the tuning fork. And they have to go write a sternly worded email to Jeff Bezos as he reads it on his Amazon yacht. Sure. Next one. I had to turn it off and put it in the garbage. Language was terrible. As my friend from New Jersey would say, one of Rudy's friends has a real potty mouth, in quotes. Hey, I'm from Jersey. Mike's from Jersey. No one uses the word potty mouth out here. Stop it. That story's horse shit. Next one. A hobbit thinks he's above football law and is not really that good. Signed, Doug Flutie. All right, here come the Notre Dame haters. Seriously, Notre Dame is just another university. Oh, that's right. They have some strict academic standards. Okay, but it's hardly Ivy League. It's not Ivy League. Oh, it's a place of great faith, is it? I thought it was a university, not a monastery, but it had great football teams when college football was really college football. That's nice. Just saying I watched it requires an assumption that Notre Dame is some heaven on earth. Really small subset of people who are going to believe that. And if you don't, then you have to sit through a pretty cliched and not altogether exciting story. Yeah, it's sort of true, but a guy walking onto a college football team when he is an inferior athlete actually is true all over the place on many college football teams. All right. Last one. This is a propaganda film for a university that has not been relevant before the Cold War. Where did this person graduate from? Ohio State, Michigan, or Passaic County Community College? Which were those three? Ron Barba did my pal Mike Price got the Sacred Cow.
Oh, the Mike Price is phenomenal. I mean, come on.
All right. Well,
legend. As a writer for the greatest show ever made. Are you kidding me? I didn't think he says so, but no, he's right on and he's funny. And, it's all right on.
I agree with Ron.
Yes, Mike, you agree with me how great you are, of course.
Oh my God, I love that.
Thoroughly well gutted.
Thank you.
Kevin Goatee, that's right. Kevin Goatee, Ron Barba, Mike Price. Love having you on again, guys. This is always a hootenanny, and we will see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.